Today I'm going to make chicken flautas. So I'm going to start with my saucepan and 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to melt the butter, and then I have 1 red onion diced that we're going to add to it. So once our butter is melted, I'm going to add my onion. This is going to have to cook for about 5 minutes. We're going to let it until the red onion becomes translucent and cooked all the way through, and then we'll add more of our spices. So if you'll notice, most of that bright purple is gone, and we're down to, you know, that light lavender hue. That's translucent red onions. So now we're going to add our spices. I have 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. I have 2 teaspoons of cumin and a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now, we're going to mix all that together and let it cook for another 2 minutes. So, our spices are nice and fragrant, filling up the house. Now I'm going to I have 3 chicken breasts that I cooked in our crock pot in fajita seasoning and a little bit of chicken stock. Or you can use a rotisserie chicken if you don't have leftover grilled chicken. You just need cooked chicken. About 6 cups of it. I'm going to stir that in. Remember, the chicken is already cooked, so we're not trying to, I'm turning the heat down too because I'm burning everything. So we're not trying to recook the chicken, it's already cooked. We're just trying to get it mixed in with all of our onions and seasonings. And then I have a cup of salsa. Just whatever salsa you buy at the store. Or, if you have wonderful neighbors and they make you salsa, use that because it's even better. So we're just going to mix this up until it's combined. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to turn off the heat completely because I need no more heat. I'm going to add a 1.5 cups of cheese. You can add more, you can add less. We like cheese in our house a lot. So I'm going to use my tongs to stir because it gets easier. And then we've added a lot of heat, spice-wise, to this. A lot of, you know, the cayenne, the fajita seasoning chicken. So you want to brighten it up with a little bit of acidity. So we're going to add the juice of 1 lime, which is a little more than a tablespoon. And then 1/4 cup of freshly chopped cilantro. We're going to stir all that in. We're going to let this cool a little bit, and in the meantime, we're going to go to our table and start on our tortillas and fryer. Okay, so now we have our chicken mixture is ready. Our fryer is at 375 degrees. If you don't have a fryer, don't panic. You can still make chicken flautas. You need a deep pot with vegetable oil in the bottom and heat it up to 375 degrees. It's really simple. Okay, so I'm going to take my flour tortilla. I'm going to scoop a little bit of my mixture in, a little bit more. Okay. Then I'm going to spread it out and tightly roll. And then, because it's a tortilla and will not stay together on its own, I have toothpicks. I have wooden toothpicks so that They don't melt. Plastic toothpicks will melt in your fryer. Don't use them. So I've got either end. Now I'm going to take this nice little flauta. I'm going to drop it into my fryer basket. I have tongs to hold it together so that it keeps its shape just for a minute or so, and then we'll release it. If we can. And these need to cook for just 2 minutes. And while each one is individually cooking, I'll start preparing the next ones. And you just want to get them to a golden brown color, so keep an eye on it. And this one needs to flip over. It's brown on the bottom and still ivory white on the top. So we're going to take it out, put it on my paper towel lined cookie sheet so that the rest of the grease can drain off. And you have a flauta. If you're making a bunch of these, you can put them in a 200-degree oven and let them stay warm while you finish. But I'm just going to go through and finish making mine right here. All right, our last one. We're gonna drop it in the grease, hold on to it to make sure that the folded over part of the tortilla stays with it and it doesn't flop back over. And then 2 more minutes and we'll be done. This recipe made 20 flautas. If you want them skinnier, put less filling in. You can make more with the same amount of filling that we made. And then of course, before you serve them, make sure that you take the toothpicks out. Give them a little minute or two to cool off so you don't burn yourself. And there's our last one. Now you can serve these with salsa, guacamole, queso, any kind of dipping sauce that you like.